Hello everybody. Hope all of you are doing well. I'm good. Yes, when I talk about emotions at workplace, of course, I cannot pretend. Emotions are not to be pretended. You own up your emotions without any hesitation. So when I teach that to others, well, it applies to me at the same time. Yeah, a little emotionally. It's been a little slow phase today because I lost a very dear member of my residential building, and she was an inspiration to many of we women, and it's sad we lost her much before the time that she should have actually gone away. So yes, I'm sure her soul will rest in peace, and extremely proud of her for the way she's lived her life, and she'll always be remembered. So coming back to our discussion, but yes, displaying emotions at work is not bad. We only have to be emotionally intelligent because, to balance ourselves. And when we can't balance ourselves also, it is okay. We need to take help and, talk to our respective supervisors and seniors and tell them that we are not up to it emotionally. And of course, find ways how to gather yourself, because at work you are needed, you are important, and you have your responsibility at the same time. So on those grounds we are supposed to be there, just not physically but also mentally and also emotionally. So we must learn to come back to ourselves at the earliest when we are at a workplace, because we have a reason why we are there. Yeah, so we have a reason why we are there, and things are dependent on us. Your work area, is dependent on you for you to play your respective role. So it's essential that we come back to ourselves so that we can perform and we can be a team player with everybody at the same time. So let us get back to what we were trying to discuss about recruitment. First of all, let us not deny the reality that the organizations that create job opportunity, it is something which we need to be very thankful to. It's a very noble thing at the same time, creating job opportunities, because of the kind of economic conditions which are there. In those conditions, having a job in hand, we need to be very, very grateful for that. So we must be thankful to what is coming our way, by having job opportunities. But along with the job opportunities, we need to also understand the job responsibility that needs to be played at the same time at our workplace. So the reasons why we do recruitments, that is very essential for us to understand. First of all, mindful that why are we doing recruitments? What is the reason? Are we trying to fill up the positions which have been empty? And why is it that getting vacant? Why is the positions getting vacant? That is something we need to understand. That first, it doesn't it's not a refill of ink or something that it's empty and okay, now we just fill it up. They're human beings, and we just need to understand that why was it that we lost somebody who was there with us, and in whom we had invested ourselves at the same time, and who had invested in us also at the same time. Yeah, the relationship is always mutual. The relationship is always mutual. So let us not feel it is only we who's investing in the employee. It is also the employee who's investing themselves and their careers in our organizations. So what has been the reason why? That is very important for us to know, so it doesn't keep repeating. That's the idea, that the cost factor, the kind of training that we need to give to the new members who keep on coming in, and also somewhere it affects the reputation of the organization at the same time. Now that's what we need to understand. And reason that person, the one who was with us, the reason why that member parted with us, very essential to pay respect to their emotions also, that what made them part with us. So these things should be considered and understood also, and just not be we just don't jump into getting the positions filled up. Second is because, of course, we have expansion, we have new departments. So maybe this is the reason why we are looking for more people coming in. And third is, of course, we are trying to look for more superior talent. Yeah, we are trying to look for a specific skill talent which is required, and probably we don't have that in our organization. And by the time we make somebody ready for that position, we don't have that kind of a time in hand, and that is the reason why we need to have somebody ready to take up the position with that particular skill set. So these are the reasons why we recruit, but when we are recruiting, of course, there are requirements overall why we are doing that, for our reasons. But at the same time, we need to also be a little more mindful that when we are, for the business requirement, when we are, taking people, more further employees to us on a business requirement, who's fulfilling their requirement? The employee's requirement. So when they are coming to us, are we being able to have a plan on place that what is that we are trying to plan for this particular member when he comes in or she comes in? What is that we have it in mind after a year or after 2 years? Where do we see this member in our organization? Are they just there after 1 year or after 5 years? They're still at the same position. So, what is our planning to not that everybody can be upgraded, of course, but what is that we are putting efforts in upgrading somebody? It's like, if you can upgrade yourself, well, great, then we'll consider you. But in case if they cannot upgrade, and if we see somebody has the potential, and what is our planning to upgrade them after a year or after 5 years, upgrade them through, by their designation and by their job responsibilities. And if we think designation doesn't matter, then I'm very sorry to say, to us it doesn't matter, but to people it does matter, because when they go outside and they present themselves, their designation matters. The way the reputation of our company matters, the reputation of the employee also matters when they go out, and when they have to present themselves. Absolutely, it matters to them, in that regard. So we need to be thinking from that aspect also, from the employee's point of view also. So what is that we are planning when we are getting in? Who's going to be the guardian to take care of this particular employee? It's not an impulsive buying. Okay, we thought, we need 5 people. Okay, we take 5 people. Do we need 5 people? Or just we need 3 people? And who's going to be taking care of these 3 members and 5 members? Where is going to be the reporting, and what is the kind of a training that we are planning? Who's going to teach them the culture of the organization? How are they going to be taken care? Very essential to have things. So that's the reason why we don't need to get into impulsive buying. It's we need to be a little more mindful. It takes time to do things, but the whole idea is we keep on moving ahead. We don't move forward. So it's a different story altogether. We are trying to move, we have not even completed one thing, but we are jumping to the other one, and leaving the first part incomplete. So we are just moving ahead. We are not moving forward, So that is something which we should be a little more mindful when we are doing the recruitments. See you more further on the same subject of recruitment. Take care. Lots of love till then. Bye-bye.